Hey guys, just wanted to apologize for the audio quality on this podcast. We had a technical difficulty with the audio mixer. It did not save the audio file properly, so we only have the camera audio for this. Bear with us and enjoy the podcast. Cheers.
I got fucking kicked out of my community garden.
Why?
Because I wasn't going to, the events. They kept sending me these, threatening emails being like,
if you don't
part of your contract is, show up at these events. I'm like, what do you guys do? You just, talk gardening? That's the last thing I want to fucking do. Can I just, go in there and, grow some tomatoes, please?
Hey, welcome to Super Social Club. I'm Jeremy.
This is Whisky in the Six, I'm Rob.
Welcome to the Whisky Rant Podcast.
It's a little crusty,
It's frustrating.
and it's going to be a little bit of a rant.
I don't understand it. I don't know why.
Some sort of injustice.
Anyway, end rant.
Hello, and welcome back to the Whisky Rant Podcast. I'm Jeremy.
Rob.
And tonight, we're talking about yet another Whisky Magazine giving out awards, this time, Whisky Magazine.
Whisky Magazine.
With the world's best of 2023.
The captains of participation awards.
We'll get into this magazine. They kind of focus on a variety of categories.
Yeah.
So you get a variety of award winners, which is a little bit different than how other magazines do it, where they maybe focus on the major groups. This one, some Canadian representation. And to honor that, Macaloney is getting a couple of awards in here and getting some page time. I like that.
They're getting some tires pumped in this,
Yeah.
which I love.
I do love that.
I think that it's well deserved.
Yeah.
Despite being in this magazine,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm trying not to be so transparent about how I feel about the magazine, but I do love Macaloney's, and we have their first 5 peated whiskeys here.
Yes. Yeah, and we'll talk all about these right after we talk about our sponsor of today's show.
Big thanks to today's sponsor, Lather.
Lather is a beauty, cosmetic, and personal care company made for men.
Yeah, mostly natural ingredients. I've transitioned to using a natural style deodorant. I don't like the chemicals that come in traditional style deodorants. These ones way better for you, in my opinion. Lather makes a couple different fragrances. This one's amazing.
This one here is incredible.
Yeah.
And I know a product that I'm wearing is incredible when my wife really likes the smell
Yes.
of it. Especially when I wear this bomb right here, which is, well, they're both good, but the Gaudy. They
Yeah.
must have called it the Gaudy because it smells gangster. It's absolutely incredible. It's called a cologne bomb, but it's meant for your beard.
Yeah, it's like a beard balm. I guess what makes Lather so good is the fragrances they put in these things are amazing. I'm personally right now using the beard oil. The sandalwood flavor is so nice. Makes your beard really, really good. I mean, you grow a serious beard. I'm a wannabe beard grower.
You got a beard on you.
It doesn't come in as thick and luxurious as a full-grown raw beard, but doesn't really matter. These things just make your beard shimmer. My hair and my beard gets really with the humidity gets really frizzy. And this oil just smooths it right out. It makes it nice, coats it down. It's great.
Yeah, they have several products. They have shampoos, they have colognes, they have body oils which moisturize your body. I love their soaps.
The soaps are nice.
The soaps are really cool. They have some that have a grit to it so that you can exfoliate if
Love
that's
that.
your thing.
Yeah,
you know?
exfoliate for sure. It's a huge thing.
Really cool stuff. That's Lather, Lathr, not spelled the traditional way.
Yep.
Really, really cool stuff.
So check out the link down below and check out Lather.
Yeah, Lather, how real men get clean.
So, these guys are practicing a little bit of terroir when it
Yes.
comes to peat. 'Cause
Yeah.
they're taking peat from different spots in Canada,
Yeah.
different spots in the US, and I think maybe some spots in Scotland. I don't know.
I think there's some Washington Peat here. We had Graham on the show, which was one of our best interviews ever. It was such an amazing masterclass that he kind of gave us.
It was one of my favorite episodes total.
Yeah.
And it didn't get enough respect.
It needs more views because this was a great episode, and Graham is amazing.
So Graham, for those of you that don't know, that haven't watched that podcast, is a Scottish individual living in Vancouver Island.
Vancouver Island, yeah.
BC. And he started this distillery, Macaloney's. Whole backstory behind that. He produced a whole bunch of stuff that looks as dark as this and just incredible. This was sent to me by my buddy Mark that lives in BC. And the guy's a gem. So thank you very much, Mark. You're the man. 58%. This is the one that we really liked. We bought it. It was a 40. I bought it. It was a 46% expression of this exact same one, the Inverna Haven. Sorry, the Inverna Haven. But this is cask strength. So this was just released in BC.
Okay.
And it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So good. And it tells you the ppm, which is 0. 58%. Batch 3 tells you how many bottles, which is like 337, and bottled on. I just realized this was bottled October. Oh, okay. And I got excited there, but October 2022. But I read 10/22, which is my birthday.
Look at that.
October
The
22nd.
birthday bottle. People will search high and far for bottling dates on their birthday or barreling dates.
So can I just say that these are probably this is the only whiskey in the world that I've nosed that smells like a Scottish whiskey when you smell the peat on it.
Yeah.
Do you notice that?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you haven't watched that episode of Macaloney's, essentially what he's trying to do is make Scotch in Canada.
Yeah. And he's Scottish, so
he's doing a really good job of it. Single malt, right? Canadian single malt.
These all have a different type of peat, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I wish we were supposed to have him back on the channel to guide us through these, but for whatever reason we couldn't coordinate. We got to get him back on though, eventually.
So, looking at this Whisky magazine, so this edition came out in June. It's the rewards edition. I mean, it is a nice magazine. Flipping through it, it is like really, really nice. I like how it's laid out. The articles in this edition are really, really good. Some really interesting stuff going on here. When you look at the awards, I mean, they're kind of giving out awards for everything here. Like, not just for how whiskey tastes, but how the bottle looks as well. You know, they've got...
Can we mention who gets that bottle award?
Yeah, best bottle design.
Is the Kibokhin.
Yeah.
The Kibokhin, which is a brand, it's a derivative of Tomatin, I believe, Kibokhin. And this is full for good reason.
Because it's not good.
Well, when I opened it, it wasn't. It might have opened up, and it's better now.
Yeah.
But I have 2 batches of this, and they're pretty much full.
Yeah.
It smells a bit better.
I don't think on the online Scotch Whisky Awards hosted by Ralphie and Roy, you're ever going to see a vote for best bottle design. I mean, sure, it's a decent bottle, but who cares? I mean, what do we care about that?
Yeah, like it's like, oh, we tasted that whiskey. It sucks. What can we say good about this? They just gave us $50,000.
Okay, so that's the thing. So that's what we're going to talk about with this magazine. Because like previous magazines that we've critiqued on this podcast, this one, again, falls into the same category where it's like they're giving awards to people who advertise in the magazine.
Yeah. And
like just flipping through, like you're just like, the third page is Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
Right? And like, it flips the award section. Who's getting an award for best Tennessee whiskey? It's fucking Jack Daniels Bonded again. Can
we talk about that award for a second? I know, like, we're gonna go through this, and like, I don't know what. So Jeremy's the plan guy. I have no structure to the way I approach things. And you guys obviously know that. But it's set. I think the whiskey is called World's Best Tennessee Whiskey.
Yeah.
Which is an oxymoron in and of itself. Like that makes
World's Best Tennessee.
World's Best Tennessee Whiskey. So you're talking about a small part of the United States with how many Tennessee distilleries are there, or people making Tennessee style whiskey in the U.S.?
2.
Like 3, like max 3 or 4. No shit, it's gonna be the world's best Tennessee whiskey. The guys that have been doing it for the last 100 years, obviously.
Yeah.
There's like a couple others, and I think one was it not Dillon's. It says with a D as well. What's the other one? Dickel.
Yeah.
They're Tennessee whiskey, I think.
That's the 2 that I could name.
Right, and I think they've been around for a long time too, Dickel. Mm-hmm. But who cares? You're the world's best Tennessee whiskey. That's like saying Iron Root is the world's best Texas whiskey.
World's best Texas whiskey.
Come on.
Which is also in there. There's in the word.
It's the best American. Iron Root actually won a legit best
from 12
years and under.
Right.
Which I guess that's a fair category because that encompasses a lot. But I get, again, it's the best American, but that probably doesn't encompass Rise. It probably doesn't
There's
encompass
his own
bourbon,
category for that.
right?
There's
World's
his own-
best Canadian blend.
This thing really is like very category specific, and I think that's why you see Macaloney's represented here because they do single malt, Canadian single malt very, very well.
And okay, let's get this right though, because World Whisky Awards is a real, like it's a big thing,
You see the logo on so many bottles,
right?
Yeah, people
But-
really do try to,
But Gibson's Finest is the world's best Canadian blended.
yeah. I mean, every question mark you have for an award, flip through the magazine and you'll see an ad for it.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? Now, okay, I know the comments are coming. They call it world's best because that's the name of the award, whatever. But still,
Yeah.
it's kind of deceiving when you phrase it like that.
Right? It's like world's best pot still that's aged in this cask, that's matured this many years, that's bottled under 50% ABV.
Yeah.
Right? It's like it's so specific. It's crazy.
So, world's best small batch bourbon. There's like 5 or 6 or 10 different bourbon awards.
Yeah.
World's best small batch bourbon is Elijah Craig, the barrel proof, which everybody talks about the barrel proof. Everybody loves the barrel proof.
Yawn.
Best non-Kentucky bourbon is Filibuster Bottled in Bond bourbon. Never even heard of it.
No.
Best Kentucky single barrel is the 1792 single barrel. World's best single barrel bourbon. Like what? They just said the same thing twice.
Right. No, but one's like best Kentucky.
Best non-Kentucky.
One's-
Sorry,
Yeah, they separate Kentucky.
is Tumblin Dice.
They just want to give as many awards as they can. That's
because
the
they
thing.
want as much advertisement money as they can.
Yeah.
Okay, we don't have to go through all this, but it's ludicrous. Like,
There's a trend in here, and it's like if you are advertising, you'll see an award for your whiskey in here.
Uncle Nearest must be pumping
This is
out
the
some
one-
serious money, right?
This is totally the made-up award. Best range.
Best range.
And Uncle's near, like you've heard of. I've never even heard of them before.
So I heard of them just because our boy Jason from the Mash and Drum
Yeah.
talks about them,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure all those other bourbon channels talk about them, which
Yeah.
tells me that every single bourbon channel in the United States
It's being
got a
sent
range
product.
of Uncle Nearest.
Try our range. of
1884.
Uncle Nearest.
You've been around since 1884. I call bullshit.
That's bullshit.
I call bullshit.
That's bullshit. Yeah, it's like you bought Uncle. This is what happens in bourbon or in whiskey actually in general. Is like there'll be a brand that used to exist that no longer exists, and that you can buy the patent for or buy the name for cheap, and then like essentially rebrand it under your own shit. And it's like, yeah, we've been around since 1864. It's like, well, you were around in 1864. You were around from 1864 to 1865. You folded, and then 150 years later, we bought you,
Yeah.
and we're using your story to sell our shit that's 3 years old.
Yeah. It's sad, but there's definitely a lot of money going into this stuff.
So these whiskey awards, I mean, no one is anyone really taking these things seriously? Like, I know that producers love to like even look at the stuff we're drinking right now. Look at the box.
Yeah.
How many? Every single one of these.
Every single one of
has a World Whisky Award sticker on the bottom of it.
which is, you know what? Like, I really hope, and I don't think Macaloney's is involved in sending these guys money to advertise, but it's possible that they are. We don't know that for sure.
Are they though? Because are they even selling their stuff anywhere else but like?
I don't know.
in BC.
That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And really, ultimately, we know for sure this is really good stuff. We've tried a whole bunch of their range now
yeah.
to know for sure that this is really good stuff.
See, this is what you do, right? If you're a new manufacturer, you enter all these spirit competitions, you pay your money to get in, right? You get an award, and you put the sticker on your thing, and then people will buy your product. Like, obviously, you know, like Sazerac, like the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection, Saz 18 got an award for, what is it? Best American aged 13 to 20 years?
13 to 20 years.
Okay, so, sure. But they're not going to put the sticker on their bottle, right? They don't need to. They don't care.
I want to know, like, how many Canadian awards are there? Because this is Best Canadian 12 and Under, which is the Lot 40 Dark Oak, which is a great whiskey. Yeah. Like, I actually really do like the Lot 40 Dark Oak. World's Best Pot Still, but in the Best Canadian category, non-age statement, is the Macaloney's Kildara, which we tried when we had Graham on the channel. The Millstone 100 rye whiskey, which is such a deceiving thing.
It tastes like orange slices.
Because it tastes like orange slices, and it says Mill Street 100, thinking that it's 100% rye, but it ain't 100% rye.
Is it 100 proof?
It's 100 proof.
Right.
But, like, why would you phrase it like Millstone 100 rye whiskey? Because you're trying to make it seem like it's 100% rye whiskey, but it's not.
It drinks like a liqueur.
It drinks like a liqueur because they add, like, orange juice to it. Yeah.
Remember when we were at Spirit of Toronto? I'm like, dude, this thing tastes like orange liqueur.
Yeah.
I'm like, what did you add to it? He's like, nothing.
Nothing. I'm like,
well, how does it taste like oranges? It's rye.
Yeah, exactly.
He didn't have an answer.
No, he didn't. No, he didn't want to answer. He didn't want to answer.
Like,
there's a whole bunch of.
What are the laws? Where's that shit made again?
Netherlands? Is it Netherlands? It's Dutch. I'm pretty sure it's Dutch.
Anyway, I don't know what their laws are on spirits and ryes, but.
Then on the nose, this one on the end here, which one is this? The Saint Mally Single Cask Series Portuguese Recharred Red Wine Barrique, 46% no. All of these are non-chill filtered noir color. This one smells phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like this magazine, first of all, it was purchased for me. I got this as a gift. I wouldn't normally buy it.
Can we talk about the price for a second?
Yeah, so the price on this, so if you're in the US, it's priced at $12.99. Okay, that's, I don't know, is that a good price for a magazine? I don't know.
Who knows?
Probably.
Nobody buys magazines.
In Canada, it's $22.99. So, what conversion rate are they using for exchange? Because $13 US is about, what, $16.50 Canadian? Something like that. I don't know how we're getting charged like an extra $8 on top of this if we're buying it in Canada. The UK price is £9, which translates to the US price.
When are you most likely to read a magazine?
When am I most likely to read a magazine?
Yeah.
If I'm in transit.
If you're on an airplane.
On an airplane, in a waiting room,
train,
dentist office,
doctor's office.
Yeah. That's really the only time.
This one's delicious.
They have world's best flavored whiskey.
I think when your first award is given to world's best bottle, you've already lost me.
Design?
You've already lost me.
The world's best bottle design is that new, is it Old Pulteney or Bowmore or something? What's the one that looks like it's like there's a cake coming off the bottle? You know what I'm talking about?
I think so. I think it might be a Bowmore.
Is it a Bowmore or a Pulteney? Anyway, it's on the screen right here. That's a really cool bottle design. What about the Macallan with the hand? I mean, I didn't like it, but that was like way cooler than that.
Yeah. It is a cool bottle. I'm not going to knock the bottle. It's nice.
Yeah.
It is nice, but it's like...
There's way cooler bottles than that.
Why is anything in the whiskey world being judged by its bottle?
Because they advertise it. Right?
Yeah.
I think.
Maybe not in this particular...
I think they do. Edition.
Did we try this one? The Sealed Dougal?
No.
This is a really good one. This one here is not that peated at all, the one on the far end here.
Yeah.
But very tasty. This is 27 ppm, Canadian Island peated. So that's coming from Vancouver Island, I would assume, the peat. That tastes like Scottish peat. I wouldn't like. Maybe there's a slight difference. Like there is something different about it.
I love the spirit because these are like kind of spirit forward.
Yeah, they are.
Because they're young. So fruity.
Their new make must be unbelievable,
right?
Did we try it? I think maybe we did try it.
I think I did. Yeah, their new make must taste like peaches and pears and apples and all that.
Yeah, that's really good. I remember that night that we tried their other lineup. That peated one was unbelievable. I can't remember which one it was. Could have been one of these. This is a Canadian Island Peat again. 11 ppm. 11 ppm. I love how they are like putting the ppms on each one. This is bourbon, Spanish Oloroso, Portuguese red wine, Virgin American, and PX.
Jeez. A lot going on there.
This is the An Aba.
I just really like how he's experimenting with peat. Like, who else is doing this? Who else is like taking peat from different parts of the world and putting it in their whiskey?
Well, we know that Glenallachie is making peated whiskey now. We know that. But I don't know if they're experimenting with the peat because why would you experiment with peat if you come from Scotland and you have...
I'm more talking about like, like obviously Canada has lots of peat. But in the other parts of the world...
Isn't anywhere along the coast, the ocean coast, peat, like you're going to find peat, like bogs, peat?
Sure. Yeah, like different parts of Europe should have some as well, right?
Yeah, you would think everywhere.
Like take the latitude. Is it latitude or longitude? The x-axis. Right?
Yeah.
The x-axis is the horizontal axis. And just go around, right?
Yeah.
And like take Scotland, take parts of Canada, take wherever else it hits. There's probably peat there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it usable? I don't know, but no one really thought that Canadian peat was usable until Macaloney started using it.
Wow. That's really good.
Right?
11 ppm.
Like some of this is coming from Washington State.
Do you remember when 11 ppm was noticeable to you? Like, I don't taste peat there, but that's delicious.
11's pretty low, but yeah.
Super low. But like, do you remember like, what's a 11 ppm that you like when you first started drinking Scotch? You're like, yeah, that's peated.
I don't know.
Probably Highland Park.
Maybe.
Right?
Yeah, very subtle.
I noticed peat in Highland Park when I first started drinking.
Yeah.
Scotch.
It might have less peat influence now than it did before. I will give some credit to this magazine for putting the front label, the cover of the magazine with some whiskeys that you don't normally see, right? Like this Breckenridge stuff out of Colorado, like you don't normally see that around. All these other ones, these like Japanese whiskeys, and I don't even know where these other ones are from.
Well, this is Israeli milk and honey.
M&H.
This is Japanese Nika. We know that one.
Yeah.
This is Korean, and this is American. This is a bourbon.
So there you go. So like some bottles you don't not normally see, right? Like
or devil's advocate here. Did they just pay the most?
I don't know. I mean, it's possible. A magazine doesn't want to make it too obvious, of course. Right.
Okay, listen. I've always respected the world's best awards, and I've kind of given them the time of day. Mm-hmm. I'm glad they didn't score these. Yeah. Because when you start scoring, that's when it becomes really dangerous.
That's true.
Because then you're like, this is a 99 out of 100.
I know.
Sorry, what?
Yeah.
That's a 99?
Yeah, like Whiskey Advocate, they scored the Jack Daniel's Bonded 97, right? Was it?
Uh-huh.
Right, like 3 marks away from perfect. It's stupid. They do score whiskeys in this magazine. They do reviews, but not necessarily for their award winners.
Right.
But they do score stuff in here.
I don't mean to knock anybody. If there's some legit whiskey reviewers that work for this magazine, all the power to you. I'm not knocking you guys. I know you guys have a job to do. I don't want to knock those guys. Mm. What I'm knocking is the people accepting the ads. And I know you're accepting the ads so that you can pay out your writers. You can pay out your, but there's got to be a more diplomatic way of doing this. There's got to be a more integrity-based way of doing this. Yeah.
They say they do it blind. But okay, sure. Do it blind and let me know your scores. And then the editor of the magazine is going to be like, yeah, this is what it was. Because we need to pay Jack Daniels, right?
We've talked about blind tastings. Are they the most fair way of judging? I don't know. What other way is there to do it?
You have to, but at the same time, it's like, your magazine, you need to freaking stay alive, so you're going to sell.
Yeah, exactly. So, It's, you know what, like I said, there's a time and a place for these guys. They're bringing attention to an industry that helps us, you know, and we want that. But I don't know. I would love to know how they approach this whole thing. Like,
yeah, I think for me, for this magazine, it is kind of cool because they do branch out and they do feature a lot of different things that you're not used to seeing, because they have such a wide array of categories that they give awards for. So you see stuff like Macaloney's, right? Like, no one knows Macaloney's outside of Canada, really.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And so, okay, my only question is this, and this is like kind of and I want to know what you guys think. I want to know if you guys think that I'm on the right track here. Is the magazine business getting so desperate that they reach out to all these new distilleries and say, hey, if you pay this fee, we'll review your whiskey, and you may or may not, depending on how much you pay, be featured on our magazine and be one of the top ranked whatever. And for this month, and then next month it's going to be somebody else winning all the same categories. That, like, you know, these guys have one category, have one like in every single category. Yeah. So I'm not knocking anybody that's won. I'm just wondering what the approach is.
I mean, you have to submit your spirit for review. There might be a fee involved with that. And they might only have so many whiskeys that you can enter into specific category.
Right.
Right? Like, Canadian, single malt, under a certain age, right? Like, we might only have a couple entries.
Well, I want to know, like, I don't know about you, but I don't want to know what the world's best Canadian single malt is. I want to know what the world's best single malt is.
Right.
And incorporate all of them.
Yeah.
And Graham actually touches on that. There's a category in there somewhere that does hit that category, because they beat out a bunch of stuff in that category. They beat out, I believe, Redbreast 12. He mentioned that specifically.
That's
I remember.
right. That's true. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So there is something like that. Maybe it's not this magazine. Maybe it's something else. But there is something like that, and it does exist.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I have a tough time buying into these magazines.
Are you excited for the online Scotch Whisky Awards this year?
That is the one award ceremony that I actually look forward to.
Yeah, me too.
Because
not just because we're a part of it and we do have a vote.
Yeah, we have a vote. But if everybody's doing it the way we are, which we know they are, it's unbiased.
Yeah.
It's what we like, not... we may have a biased reason for liking them, but it is what we like. So that's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited. We'll see about, is one of my picks going to get, Whiskey of the Year?
Would be cool.
I don't think any of mine have gone through so far.
I don't know. I think, we picked Glenallachie like everything.
That's true.
And Glenallachie stuff has gone through, right?
Yeah.
So I think Glenallachie 12 went through. I think we both picked, I don't know, I could be wrong with that one.
We'll see. It's going to be an interesting year. Lots of new whiskeys out there. So yeah, we'll see. That comes up in November, I think, right?
Yes,
we got
sir.
time. We got some time.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see. So let's know what you think. Again, with these whiskey magazines, these awards, is it pay to play? Is there any kind of logistics? Can you look at this as kind of like a reference point and maybe go from there? It's definitely not the gospel, that's for sure.
No. My biggest takeaway from this is definitely buy some Macaloney. So you will not be disappointed.
I know, this stuff does have so much potential and it's so good already at how old is this stuff? It's young.
Young.
Right?
It's all young.
So young and it's so good already. It's like, it's gonna be wild.
And honestly, do yourself a favor, go back and watch that Macaloney's interview.
Yeah.
Watch our interview with Graham, because you will see firsthand that this is a guy that's passionate about whiskey making. Doing it, he's literally checked every box, turned over every stone, done everything he could possibly do to make sure that his whiskey is going to be incredible. And it is.
Yeah.
So, check him out.
Really good.
Yeah.
Leave us a comment down below. Whiskey Magazine, the world's best. What do you think? Give us a comment, like the video, subscribe if you haven't, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Cheers.
Cheers.